Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. The last video I uploaded was early summer and now it's late winter. That's a long time ago. But today I'm out and surprise, surprise, I am looking for compositions. And we have this lovely fog rolling through the landscape today and it's looking very interesting. It's a soft fog, so it isn't really that thick, so I guess it's a thin fog. It gives a little bit of separation between the trees. You can't see too far out over the landscape, but it gives the opportunity to get complexion or complexity rather, but still having the opportunity of separation within the woods, or if I find something more over the landscape, perhaps it would be more isolated and more simplified. So it gives a unique opportunity to find things in the landscape, and that's really what I'm hoping to use today. And also it's a good opportunity to experiment and improve my compositional skill, which is really what I'm all about today, or nowadays, let's say. So let's try to find a composition, shall we? So the scene that I have right in front of me now is just a fog-filled landscape, and I'm just waiting as the fog is rolling through the landscape. It's slowly drifting by, opening up pieces of the landscape, and I'm waiting for it to become nicely layered, and then I can use that as a nice composition. And I can see right now over there, so I'm just quickly gonna try to change everything around here. Let's see. Oh yeah, if I can grab something. That looks pretty nice. Just grab an image of that really quick. That looks pretty nice actually. So as you can see on the scene here, let me zoom out a little bit for you. In the scene I basically cut off, let me just stop down so my finger is more visible. I cut off that tree down there, and this one in the corner there is not included. I'm basically focusing on the layered stack between that, and then the infinity of the fog behind. So that is basically the idea for that composition, showing the layered nature of the fog rolling through and just leaving it the background into infinity basically, since you can't see where it ends, you can't see the horizon line, you can't see anything of that. So yeah, just a quick image of the conditions of this morning basically. But I think it looks pretty nice actually. It's still defined enough that you can understand what it is, but it's actually pretty ethereal in a sense. The bottom part of the second hill isn't really showing at all, so it's almost like it's floating. It's a bit too ethereal perhaps for for what I would have liked, but still it's anchored enough with the first row, the first hill that I have, that I think it works pretty nicely. And having a bit of knowledge with the fog and everything, how it rolls through, it's going to convey the correct purpose to the viewer of this foggy morning and the fog just rolling through. Actually, it's more like gliding through than it's rolling through. But I'm going to try to see if I can find any other compositions here. So let me just show you. Let me just show you what the conditions are looking like right now. As you can see there, it's very soft, very subtle, but it's like these openings, like almost like islands opening through the fog with the landscape, and just trying to. It's just so subtle. I can't even see whether or not I'm in focus on anything at all. I'm just gonna try to see if I can get anything else out of this. And I'll show you if I do. I'm really happy with the results I was able to get with this fog. It's still rolling through, but I've been able to get a couple of images that I think are really, really good. So I'm going to try to continue on and find something else. I think the fog is going to start to dissipate within an hour or so, so I still want to make some good use of it before it's over. I'm really happy that I was able to get this, and even just looking at it without even taking a photo would be just an experience, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very, very grateful that I'm able to experience these kinds of things. Yeah, let's move onward. So as I'm hiking through the landscape now, it seems that the fog is getting thicker, at least over the landscape. If that thickness is to creep into the forest, I would actually be happy. Might be easier to find a composition that way. The problem with the trees up here at this location is that they're quite small and quite spread apart. So having something to stand out isn't really that easy, or to find something that stands out. There are quite a few quirky trees, but mostly it becomes more of a portrait of that tree rather than a fully integrated scene, which is what I'm looking for. So fog and the separation with the fog might actually help with that. At least I'm hoping that it will. So I found another composition here, and here we have something that is quite interesting. We have this line of trees here in the foreground, and you can see in the background there, right now it's just barely showing, but just a few minutes ago it was showing a lot more clearly. But you can see that it's kind of mimicking the shape of these trees. And then what I did is, or what I actually saw at first, was that tree in the middle there. And I decided to do something a bit unconventional when we're talking about compositional theory, and that is to place it basically in the middle of the frame. And what that does is that it just anchors the center of the image. It creates a lot of interest smack in the middle, and it goes against the convention, since it says, well, if you're taking the rule of thirds as an example, it says to put your subject or your main element at one of the interjecting points on the rule of thirds grid. But placing it in the center like that can often be even more powerful, as long as you have supporting elements all around the frame that is creating the correct structure for the scene that you intend to show the viewer. And that is exactly what I did here. I wanted something, or I found the tree interesting, and then I framed up a supporting structure around it, meaning that I have interest all around it, and I have more interest in the composition than just the tree. But the tree itself becomes a grabber, a drawer, and then the visual flow from that is basically going outwards instead of starting at the sides and going either way. So saying that you can't put something in the middle of the scene, in the middle of the composition, is purely wrong. It's not more difficult than that. It's wrong. You can't do that. But in order to do that, the elements around that centered main element needs to support it with enough strength to keep interest throughout the whole composition. That might be a little bit intricate and a little bit difficult, but I hope you understand what I mean with that. And I'm really happy that I found this scene and I was able to frame it up in a nice way, and I think it's a really nice image. Leave a like and subscribe if you found that useful. Well, I am going to head back towards the car now, actually. And see what I can find, if I can find anything on my way back. I'm hoping to find something within the woods with the trees. That is really what I'm hoping for. But you never know with these kinds of things. So on my way back I stopped, not at the same location, but at a similar location as earlier, where I have a great view out over the landscape, and it's still the same fog that is drifting through. I was seeing this just small stripe of trees, or a small strip of trees opening up between the fog. So it really just became like an island over in the mist. Having mist on that low level, where the trees are still showing somewhat above, is quite rare here in Dalsland, since the hills aren't really that high. So having these conditions isn't happening that often, so I'm really excited about it. I just can't really get enough. But I wanted to try to grab a few more of these interesting compositions where we only have this strip of trees, basically an island of trees amidst the fog in the landscape. So let me show you what it looks like right now. You can quickly see if I just do a pan across. Now it's just fog basically everywhere. But you can also see it's really difficult to get any focus in here. But basically inside the fog here we have small little openings. You can see in the distance over there, right over there, we had something at least before. Now you can see a small island kind of opening up in there, but I'm not able to get focus on it. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see in the distance over there that we're getting small little openings like that. But since they are so diffused, so subtle, a lot of the times it's very difficult to even get focus in time to grab an image. This is drifting by quite fast. It's been a couple of times where I've seen a nice composition, a nice scene, but I haven't been able to get the focus since it's just too diffused to be able to even manually zoom it. Since when I'm zooming into the back of the display, it's just too diffused to see any details at all. So that is too bad. A little opening here. Well, that is the end of this little excursion. As you can see around me, the mist has lifted quite a bit, but the issue for me, I wanted to find something inside the woods, but the mist never really hit that hard inside the woods here. So more like it was further down, lower down, out over the landscape. So in that sense I went to the wrong location. But what I was able to find instead was just so amazing and such a rare treat to find something like that here in Dalsland. So I'm really happy about that. I think I grabbed some really interesting composition as well. And as I've stated earlier before, what I'm doing is that I'm improving my compositional skill. I'm experimenting, I'm trying things out. And sometimes that aligns with very nice conditions indeed, and I get some nice images as well. But the key importance, the thing that I'm really trying to do is to be out exploring, trying to improve my compositional skills, trying new theories, trying different ways of balancing out elements within a composition. So yeah, really happy about today. And yeah, so if you liked this video, then remember to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I have more videos on my channel, and videos will be coming out at somewhat of a sporadic pace. I'm not sure. More videos will come though. and share this video if you think anyone else might get anything out of it. I'm sure they will, so share it. That's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.